Act 1, Chapter 2 The Crypt of the Scribe. Hello everyone, Alfred here, and welcome to part 3 of my Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough, The Dark Urge for Power. In this chapter, Dirge and his companions are going to explore an old crypt that they found at the shoreline. The people who watched my previous two videos are probably surprised to hear my voice. It's just after seeing people actually watching my videos, I got enough confidence to record my voice, and also decided that it would be a good English speaking practice for me. I'm not that bad at reading and writing in English language, but I don't have enough practice speaking it, so this will be good enough, I guess. Okay, let's start here. Time to turn on my draconic charm on these explorers.
Not another step, hear me? Boss! Got company up here!
What's this then? Trying to creep around us and loot the crypt? Not happening. Or is it the ship you're after? Don't matter either way. It's ours. All of it.
Okay. No need to be this aggressive. So, let's see what my options is here. No. I'm not harmless. I'm not as helpful. Paladin option is also not for me. So... yeah, I guess I'll give them, a good but intimidating advice. This is the best option for Dark Urge, definitely. The only thing you own is your life. Leave before I take that too.
Well, in that case...
Come on, you lot. No point in getting killed. Second worm gets the cheese and all.
Second mouse gets the cheese, no?
Nobody's getting any damn cheese. Now move it!
Oh wait, where are you going? You misunderstood me. It was just a friendly advice, a tease. Oh well. My cheese and fish.
Lost in thought.
No one back home.
Also, for people who don't know, if you're wondering why would I collect boxes, I need elevation for my mages, because elevation gives advantage on spells and ranged attacks, and boxes are really useful for that.
Doesn't tell me who was worshipped here.
I applaud your taste. This will come in
And
handy.
another box for Gale.
I have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it. Maybe I need more pockets. What's hiding here?
Which way to the nearest library?
Come on,
Right
Gale,
for the taking.
collect boxes. Collect them boxes.
Still alive. So that's progress.
Also, you may notice the buttons from my screen recorder at the bottom right corner of the video. Sorry for that, I didn't turn off the overlay and so they sort of imprinted on the recording. In the next video this is not going to happen, I promise. Knock knock.
Thank you, Gimblebuck. Everything all right out there?
Gimblebuck triggers some trap. He needs help. Now. Now. I am very
I
convinced.
told him it wasn't safe out there. Get inside and I'll rustle up some bandages.
Well, that was easy. Oh, and Astarion approves.
Who the hell's... You're dead!
No, you. Oh, they now show enemies surprised on screen. There was no surprise indicator in the early versions. At least I don't remember.
I've missed this.
Key and a torch. Yeah.
Breathe deep and move. Here we go.
Oh, Chromo Darts. Yeah. That's one of my modded spells.
Elminster's not around, so might as well.
An extremely useful cantrip. For early game at
All's well
least.
that ends.
Or maybe it will be
Oh,
useful
not as
even
bad as it
throughout
could
the
have.
game. Well, access to every element is definitely useful.
At the ready.
Oh, I just realized. In my first playthrough, in one of the early versions of the game, there was a bug that made it so you could make Gale learn any spell at 0 cost. Like, the spell showed, like, one of the
Nothing hurts
high-level spells
anymore.
showed that, like, 400 gold to
Always
learn.
room for more.
And I had 0 gold and Gale was still able to learn the spell. But now that bug was fixed, now I actually have to pay for the spells. I never thought about this. Oh, I need money. In order to get the most utility out of Gale, I need a lot of money. Well, to be fair, I can cheat
more
myself
prayers.
a lot of money.
Only
This is a
dust and
modded
silence.
playthrough.
Who are those prayers for?
I'm
Normally
playing
the
for
patron god
fun,
is obvious.
not to
Not here.
actually play the game, like, through. Even though this is a playthrough.
No traps, please. One day I'll catch a break. Let's see what this does.
No traps, please. Oh, there will be traps. but I don't need to worry about them, because I got Astarion! Astarion!
Ancient, indecipherable
I
text
made a
covers the
small
plan.
song about Astarion and how
A
helpful
dead
he
tongue.
is.
Whoever worshipped here
I-
must be long gone.
I never sent it to anyone. And I think I don't even remember the exact lyrics. I wrote them down somewhere. I don't know where that piece of paper is right now. But basically the song was about how, thanks to Astarion, no traps or locks in this game are actually traps or locks. Like, everything is open, every road is safe, thanks to Astarion. Also, one of my goals this playthrough is to collect every portrait of Divinity Original Sin 2 main character. Like, there was a portrait of Fane. I think in my first playthrough I never found the portrait for that
Right. What now?
crazy
Walking
mage
death.
lady. I don't remember her name. Hello, guys.
On my way.
Still on my feet.
Actually, I do think that this is a good time to say that I'm not playing just Honor mode. I'm playing modded Honor mode, specifically the Nightmare mode. Nightmare, I think level 1, because I already tried to start the game before recording, and I played on Nightmare level 2 mod. And, well, the bandits here, the marauders, they annihilated me. They annihilated my whole party and ended that honor run, so I decided to downgrade the difficulty a little bit. This is still a modded honor mode, like I am making this extra hard for myself, but also I have a lot of broken mods. So I guess that makes broken mods that make me overpowered and my teammates, so I guess this is balanced. I guess those two things balance each other out. Yeah, chromatic magic mod will be definitely useful. Have the ensnaring arrow ever worked for anybody? Like, I think I tried to use it a lot on my first playthrough of the game, but I could never ever ensnare anyone with the ensnaring arrow. Like, it always failed.
Make way.
Come on, Lae'zel, come on. Get a kill. Yes. Okay, let's try his Blood Hunter spell. What will it do? Oh, so the Blood Puppet doesn't even perform like a strong attack. Because he loses his weapon, he uses the weakest just throw a rock attack.
Won't see this coming.
Maybe I picked the wrong Blood Hunter spell for Astarion. Like, if every enemy just loses its weapon, then being made into a Blood Puppet, that makes them, like, pathetically weak. Like, when I picked this spell, I thought that this spell would make me, like, a one-turn powerful ally anytime. Like, for example, I could kill a boss and then resurrect that boss for one turn to kill a couple of its minions. Like, that kind of thing. But if the resurrected enemy becomes useless, then this spell is actually bad. Well, this is my first time playing with this mod, I'm experimenting. I will stumble onto useless spells most of the time, probably. Knowing my luck, I will use useless magic all the time. One thing I have to say though,
Good move.
I'm actually glad that enemies now use throwing their weapons, because in the early versions of the game, enemies rarely throw anything. Now when you're battling battling anybody, they are actually going to utilize their movesets. Because in the early version, most of the enemies mainly use their main attacks, or maybe like one or two spells if they are a mage, and that's it. None of the enemies ever utilize their full moveset. Now they do. And I think that's great. I don't know if that's a good quality of the Nightmare mode, or if the actual game got patched enough so that enemies actually became smart, but either way, I really enjoy seeing that enemies have actually become smarter.
I will ascend. Found and taken.
Okay. I actually want to complete Gale's death quest at some point, but not right now. This is way too early for Gale's death quest.
Never a dull moment. On my way.
She looks delicious. the dark urge for power grows. And Shadowhouse werewolf blood is satiated. Or should I say sated?
One with the weave.
I wonder what the next move is.
Also, a funny little thing about the werewolf mod, which I actually like, is that the werewolves keep the weapons of the character. Like, Shadowheart werewolf has a shield and a club.
Onward then.
Indolence breeds madness. Onward.
The air is ripe with magic.
Someone there? Let's move.
What to do? Best be on my way.
No time to dally.
Best get going.
Also, another useful mechanic which I didn't know about on my first playthrough is that you can throw healing potions. And they heal everyone that they cover. I didn't know about this. And I wish I did, because that would make the final boss battle of the game much easier. Because my huge problem on the final boss was that I had to save spell slots and different abilities for damage dealing. And because of that, healing was sparse for me. I will not explain in what stupid way I was playing the first time, but basically if I knew that you can throw the healing potions, that would make the final boss so much easier for me. I suffered so much.
Excellent choice.
No time to rest.
Also, I have a question for people watching this. Please leave your answer in the comments. Should I finish this playthrough on this hotfix of patch 6? Or when patch 7 comes out, should I update the game and then try to reach one of the new evil Dark Urge endings? Because my original plan was to basically become the Absolute. Like, I am going on an evil playthrough, of course. But in the trailer for patch 7, Larian showed us that there will be a new Dark Urge ending where you basically become like you regularly become a favorite child of Baal on evil playthrough. But this time you will get a special ending with a dark moon and a sea of blood and corpses. So what do you say? Should I finish this playthrough on this patch? Or should I, when patch 7 comes out, update and try to finish the game on the new patch?
Anything of use?
The one thing that I'm afraid of regarding updates is that if patch 7 changes a lot of things in the game, then some of the mods might start working incorrectly and break my playthrough. This is what I'm afraid of, and this is why I'm asking that question. Should I risk it? Oh, also, the Curse of the Vampire. This is from the Books of Power. Knowledge is Power, I think the mod is called. These are basically just little trinkets, books which you can find and slightly raise your stats. Only slightly. This mod is not overpowered. It's just a small boost. But basically, yeah. Regarding my question, please leave a comment. Also, if you like where this playthrough is going so far, we haven't gone far yet, of course, but if you would like to continue watching my playthrough, please like, share, subscribe, etc. What YouTubers usually say. And thank you for watching, of course. Okay, let's skip a bit of book collecting. 1, 2.
Something over there.
What was that?
Alright, let's continue our crypt exploration.
Direct me.
Mind never quiet.
Seek and you shall find me.
Gale fan service. Because of course, we need fan service in this playthrough. I'm still wondering why is transmogrification. Oh god, I always forget the word.
I crave blood.
Transmogrification isn't an option in the base game. Like, it would unlock so many style options for players.
Still in control.
Like, for example, there is a piece of armor, a helmet, which looks like an iron skull with bull horns, which I just love.
Your desire.
But it doesn't have the stats and attributes that I need. And so it would have been wonderful if I could, in the base game, take a helmet which I want to wear and helmet which I need to wear and make the second helmet look like the first one. I do not understand why do I need a mod for this. This should be in the base game.
Charmed, I'm sure.
My faith protects me.
Oh, gloves are clipping for the strong female model. Also, why isn't there a strong body mod for Githyanki?
What's inside?
Like, the only strong body mods which I found are for elves, half-elves, humans, tieflings, half-orcs, and Dragonborn. Like, I guess everyone except Dragonborn probably share like a mesh, a model for the body, so it's easier to make the mods for those races, but like, we need more body mods for other races. I need muscular Githyanki. I need Lae'zel with thick arms. This is what I'm asking for.
What have we here?
Be careful. There are traps about.
Astarion's most useful ability: clearing out traps. As I said, when Astarion is in the party, traps and locks are not a problem.
Oh dear. Someone's left a trap out for us.
Oh dear. Oh, I love his voice acting. Like, the voice actor did an amazing job.
Doesn't like visitors. Traps. How considerate. Oh dear. Someone's left a trap out for us. Oh dear. Someone's left a trap out for us. Traps. How considerate.
Oh, this is annoying. I cannot get to that gargoyle head.
Someone doesn't like visitors.
Okay, help me out, guys. Let's find all the traps.
Better be careful not to trigger that thing.
Thank you, Gale.
Aye. I'd better be careful not to trigger that thing.
Still breathing, despite everything. Time to press ahead. A strange coin. I wonder what it's worth.
I have never used soul coins on my first playthrough.
Let's have a
My
look.
Karlach ate 0 soul coins. She stayed soul free. Also, the Watcher's Spear. The Watcher's Guide. This is... Despite having a nice bonus, like... It is a pretty useless spear for an early game. Like, the first time I saw it on my first playthrough, I was like, ooh, a spear with an ability that gives advantage, wow! And I miss a lot, so like, this is going to be helpful, right? No. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't helpful. At least it looks nice. This is basically a glaive, but with a slightly golden shine to it.
All is ash and meat.
At least it looks nice. This might be boring to watch, but I very much enjoy inventory management.
Salutations.
I have such a headache.
Watch your back.
Astarion.
Hardly a challenge.
Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
Have I been this way before?
No. We're going deeper into the crypt. I've been this way before, but you weren't, Dirge. This is your first time.
Give it a shot. Armed scribes, but no sign of a struggle.
I wonder what was so subversive about their words that they commanded protection.
What's in here?
This is very much something that
good
you should
here.
always do
I
at the
hope.
beginning of the game in this area. collect weapons from the armed scribes, so when they rise from the dead, they will be a tiny bit less dangerous. Although most of them are mages, so taking weapons from them doesn't change much. Doesn't make them much easier, but still. This is something that you should always do, in my opinion.
That's Jurgle, scribe of the dead. I didn't think anyone still worshipped him.
Let there be light. Let there be light. Let there be light. Okay, let's see.
What could a book contain that requires it to be bound with chains?
Something very important, I guess.
Whatever comes, I'm ready.
Okay, let's speak.
This for now. Careful, I bite.
Yes?
Okay, Gale has heist history and religion.
This book is far lighter than it should be with such a massive lock.
I remembered a joke from Shenpai's video about this game. This book is far lighter than it should be with such a massive cock.
As the lock opens, a loose page comes with it. Magic pulses from the parchment. What was once script is now an obliterated scrawl. You have a sense these are names, a list. But of what?
Examine the book more closely.
Gods. These are the names of gods, once lost but now restored after the Second Sundering. The last 3 names in this book sit close together, but are so devastated by the scrawl as to be unreadable. Entire pantheons have dwindled and been reborn, silently recorded by this book.
Ooh. Now you get a scroll from it. Nice, 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 nice. Or maybe some of the mods give me that scroll for reading that book. I think I downloaded a mod that adds rewards for successfully completing some small story events. So maybe I got the scroll of enfeeblement from a mod. That is possible, yeah. Honestly, I downloaded a lot of mods. I don't even remember what some of them do. My main idea for the mods that I utilized in this playthrough was, well yeah, I guess I'll put it as utilized. My main idea was evil dark magic, blood magic, some turning into beasts, monsters things, and a lot of empowerment. Like this is why the playthrough is called The Dark Urge for Power. The main goal is to get more power.
Another step forward.
Although I didn't download some of the most overpowered mods, because I thought that they would make the game not interesting. And I probably was right. Ding dong. Anyone home? Oh, hello. Your eyes are shining.
Hells, something just woke up down here.
Sorry for being loud.
Darkness can be to our advantage.
Actually, no. Surprisingly enough, Shadowheart says darkness can be to our advantage. And, for example, in case of Astarion, maybe. But in case of everyone else, when enemies are obscured, they are harder to hit. So, no. Unless you're a rogue, darkness isn't really to your advantage. I'm saying this from an experience standpoint. From my experience, darkness is my enemy. But maybe in this evil playthrough, where everyone is dark mages, blood mages, I can utilize darkness. Wahahaha. Also, to anyone who didn't know, this is why I collected boxes. Elevation, baby. 3 boxes is just enough.
Time to push my luck again. One day I'll catch a break.
Make way!
Oh, you bitch. What was that for? Astarion will not use spells. Astarion has knives. Oh, you...
With finesse.
Victory is assured. Still breathing, despite everything. Another step forward.
What should I do? Have to keep going. Time to strike. Let my name be known.
You create fog. I create darkness. Oh, item darkness. Huh.
They won't expect this.
Umbra. Not Umbra. Umbra.
A tale for the ages.
Yeah. See? See my point? Okay, high ground, at least. But, did you see my point?
Can't even catch
Darkness
my breath.
isn't my friend. If enemies are obscured by darkness, that's not good. I cannot attack them.
Ready.
They cannot attack me, but I also cannot attack them.
Got to press on. Bleed for me.
Unless it's holy magic, apparently.
I am fury. I am death. On the move.
Oh, you ass. Arse. How dare you? How dare you hurt my hot Githyanki girlfriend? Yes, I romanced Lae'zel on my first playthrough. She's my girlfriend.
Alright.
And I'm the pain of her flesh, the love on her lips.
dance board is set. No choice but to keep going. Try me. Very well.
Thanks, Astarion. You alright, Lae'zel? Don't worry, you will be alright very soon. Let me just heal you two up. Maybe lay on hands? Nah. Throwing potions is much more useful. Hey Gale, collect your boxes.
What have we here?
1, 2, 3.
It shall be done.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
A lot of effort to hide one sarcophagus.
One sarcophagus and a very useful amulet. Very useful.
Let me work my magic.
Here lies the Guardian of Tombs. Through knowledge comes atonement.
Here comes Jurgal, do. Here comes Jurgal, a friendly skeleton man. Or I guess he's a lich, not a skeleton. Doesn't matter. He's my best cryptic friend.
So he has spoken, and so thou standest before me. Right, as always. What a curious way to awaken. Now, I have a question for thee. What is the worth of a single mortal's life?
Well, that's a special question. So he has spoken. What he are you talking
An
about?
arbiter of certain matters. But that is not important now. Wilt thou answer my question?
Yes, ask away.
So I ask again, what is the worth of a single mortal life?
Mine seems worth little, as my blood calls me to harm others.
Life and how it is lived are different equations. Very well. I am satisfied. We have met, and I know thy face. We will see each other again at the proper time and place. Farewell. We have nothing more to discuss. Continue on my way, as if I were not here. I must attend this place after so many years away. We will see each other again soon.
You seem very certain of that. How?
The mechanics of fate would be difficult to explain to one such as thyself. Regardless, it will occur.
I just love how ominous yet reassuring Weavers are. Weavers is. Okay, well, there isn't much to do here now.
Find a way forward.
Yeah, that's right, Dirge. We need to move forward. Pull the lever, Kronk. Yes, right lever. I know the joke doesn't work that way, but I still like it.
Wish I had a bag of holding. That might be worth a look.
Well, technically you do have a bag of holding. I have a mod that basically makes inventory so large that I can carry anything.
I'll be keeping an eye on you. Understand?
If I choose to kill you, you will not even see it.
Something over there.
You know what? Maybe I don't need another chest. Yeah, I'll leave it here.
Lost in thought.
How many die today? How many die tomorrow? Can't slow down.
Okay, maybe I should end the episode right here. Like, this is a nice view. Maybe a nice thumbnail. No, you know what? I'll move closer to the Emerald Grove, and then I'll end. Yeah, let's do that. No, I'll move a little bit closer. The next episode will start right at the battle with goblins.
Shouting up ahead.
We should check it out, but be careful.
Yeah, right here. I'll end right here. So, thanks everyone for watching. This was part 3 of my Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough, The Dark Arch for Power, Act 1, Chapter 2, The Crypt of the Scribe.